Hey everybody, Last Outrider here, bringing you part 4 of What is Eternal Crusade? In this episode, we're going to be asking 3 questions. Those are going to be, 1, can you solo Eternal Crusade? Meaning, can you play it by yourself? 2, will there be quests or missions in the game? And 3, what type of game is Eternal Crusade actually going to be? So let's get right into it. We're going to just deal with the facts here, okay? No opinions, but we're going to have to interpret a few things. So, question, like I said, can you play it solo? The answer to this is no. Eternal Crusade is not a game that's designed to be played by yourself. It is a game that will require you to play as a group. A PvP gankfest is how this is going to play. Now, to give you the specific answer to that, it's going to say it will definitely be a challenge for you to play solo. That's the official answer. Solo players can easily find and join battles with their faction by either looking at the world map or deep striking into the top conflicts of the moment. So, that's the very definition of group play. You can look for group PvP battles and run to it or teleport to it. You'll also be able to access and progress through procedural content. Procedural content can be interpreted as grinding. It's going to, whatever it is going to be grinding. Either you have to kill 500 boars or something like that. It's going to be grinding. That's procedural content. It's not a quest per se. So, no is the short answer. Eternal Crusade is not designed for solo play. Whatever. It's neither good nor bad. It's just up to you. Are there going to be quests? Again, no is the short answer. There will not be quests in this game. Quests are defined by me, and I believe most people who play RPGs, as you find a quest giver, you read their little storyline, you accept the quest, you go out, you do something, you come back, you get a reward, you completed a quest. Eternal Crusade will not have this mechanic in it. No quest givers or anything like that. So what will they have? Well, are there quests? Not in the traditional sense. That's the first answer. Okay, which for me is no. Instead of looking for quest givers to give you things to do, you can just head out into the open world. Whee! And look for a hive or lair content. Hive or lair content is traditionally defined as some giant PvP monster, or I should say, NPC monster that requires more than one person to kill, like the Baron or things like that in League of Legends. That's a lair or hive content. Again, like they said, not designed to be done solo, so bring your friends. You can do this in your territory or the enemy territory. You'll be able to have missions and objectives assigned to you as part of a campaign system that will be detailed later in the future. Okay, so that means it might be there and it might not be there. We don't know what it is, so let's just pretend that campaign system, whatever it's going to be, is probably going to be in the form of PvP bonuses to your faction. Like, hey, take this anthill, hold the anthill for 15 minutes, and everybody in your faction will get plus 5% to their damage, or defense, or recharge time, or what have you. That's what you'll have instead of quests. This is neither good or bad. Again, it's your playstyle. Do you want to be in large PvP gank quests in a game that you cannot solo? It will depend upon with no real missions. Enjoy. So what type of game will it be? A lot of people compare Eternal Crusade to PlanetSide 2. I'm going to end that right now. It's not PlanetSide 2. It will not play like PlanetSide 2. It's nothing like PlanetSide 2. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. Allow me to read you a description of PlanetSide 2 from the PlanetSide 2 website. They can describe themselves in one sentence. PlanetSide 2 is 1. Free to play. 2. Massively multiplayer online first-person shooter, or MMO FPS. That's their description. No argument. Free to play, massively multiplayer, first-person shooter. Let's see how Eternal Crusade describes themselves, okay? Eternal Crusade is a third-person, not first-person, massive combat. I see that as factional PvP, or it's just all PvP, RPG. That is a question because, as they said, their campaign system hasn't been described. So they might end up removing the RPG from it. Players select one of the factions of the 41st. But before we go on, did you notice the lack of the description free to play? Eternal Crusade is not, will not be free to play. We'll talk about what they will be in the next video when we talk about business model. But here it simply describes you pick your faction, you hack your way through procedural content. I will define that as grinding. Players will then claim territory in massive battles. Translation, you better hope there's lots of people from your faction on at any given time you want to play. Otherwise, you have nothing to do unless you just like dying. You take territory in massive battles. You earn the right to customize and improve your character. Translation, you will unlock your character as you go up in levels or a level-like thing, but you will not get access to those abilities unless you've paid for that content. Okay, so if you look at their free-to-WOG option, you will play an orc, you will go up a level, suddenly you might unlock the ability to use heavy weapons or use jump packs, and that's fine. Pay them. Or you can't use it. Or maybe it'll be something like that. It'll be microtransactionized level progression, with each ability or option costing you money. But you'll have the right to have it as long as you pay. And this will be drawn from the Warhammer 40,000 lore. Okay, whatever. You know, there's only so many things you can do with lore here. How many worlds can you have in the galaxy where all of the factions of 40K just want that same planet at the same time? I don't know. Dawn of War did it. You had Arcadia. There it is. All 5 factions want to get on this world. Oh, the world is not what you expect. Blah, 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 blah. It's a little stretch. Okay? This is going to have to do the same thing. One world, for some reason, every faction in the 40K universe wants it, and it has to have some secret. But since you can't solo the content, I wouldn't worry too much about it. That is Eternal Crusade. And next time, we'll talk about business model and gameplay. See you then.